Hey, lovely people. So this video is going to be going over the IML web analyzer using the strategy ECC11. So it's a dope strategy if you're trying to get either 3 to 5 pips or 10 pips. You can use this strategy on any time frame and pretty much any type of pair that you want to trade on. If you look down here where my mouse is, you have Forex pairs that the strategy works on. You have Bitcoin, crypto pairs that the strategy works on. You also have index pairs that the strategy works on. And last but not least, you have metals. So you can use this for either or, okay? You also have different time frames that you can look at. Let's say you only want to look at the 5-minute chart. You can click that and eliminate the rest. But I like to look at the 15-minute and the 1 hour, but it's totally up to you. You can choose whatever is more comfortable for you. So let's do, I'm actually going to go ahead and look at some Forex pairs because the market's already closed and because it's the weekend. So let's just do let's look at the 1 hour chart. Oh, y'all hear that cha-ching sound? So that cha-ching sound happens every single time a new trade is called. And it does that so you can know. But let's look at this. So this was called, right? And the first thing that you want to do before you even look at this, before you even do anything, is you want to check and see that your Ichimoku settings are here. If they're not here, then you can click on this plus button with the indicators and you can type in Ichimoku and it'll populate for you in this area when you click it. And you want to make sure that these are the right settings. I sent a picture to the group chat with the settings and the numbers and stuff. So you should have under your inputs, it should say 613 2613, and then for your style, it should be it should be red, blue, green, green, and I just changed mine to purple because it's easier for me to not get distracted because you really want to focus on the red and the blue, and I felt like having an extra red one was a little confusing, but you can make this whatever color you want it to be. All right, so once you get all of that set, hold on 1 second. Sorry, guys. Go back to my screen. Okay. So once you have that set up, your Ichimoku settings are set up properly, you want to take a look at the trade that you're looking into getting into. So I'm going to choose this pair. It's EUR AUD on the 1 hour time frame. And when I click this blue button, I don't know why it keeps doing this. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Okay. When I click this blue button here, it populates the chart for me for this specific trade. So click that. Okay, I'm gonna have to reset my settings because as you can see here, the numbers change. So let me just do that really quickly before I continue with the rest of this video. 6, 13, 26, 13. All right, and then for style, again, we want it to be red first. The baseline should be blue. I like to make my my blue line a little thicker so I can see what's going on here. And my red line can be a little thicker too. Okay, and then I like to change this color so I don't get distracted. I make it purple. All right, coolio. So our blue line here is our main line, and our red line that crosses up and down, that's going to tell us whether we're buying or selling. If it crosses above our blue line, we're buying. If it crosses below, we're selling. Okay, so back to over here. So we clicked here, we have our chart populated, we have our Ichimoku settings here, we're good to go. The next thing that we need to do is look at the called at price. So this is the number that you want to actually look at when the trade is being called. And the way that we can identify this is by clicking on our trend line tools here, click horizontal line, click anywhere on the chart. And when you go to your settings here, which is the gear button, you want to make sure that this number and this number are the same. So you should be here for this specific trade should be 1.61967. Okay, so this tells me that this specific trade, when it was called in this area. Okay, it should be in this area. And scrolling, just looking down here, it tells me that this trade was called 7 hours ago. So because we're on the hour chart, we know that every candle is an hour. It takes 1 hour for every candle to form. So all we have to do is count back 7 candles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? So this was 7 hours ago. It says 7 hours and 41 minutes. So if you want to just say like this area right here between these two candles, this is when the trade was called. Okay? So let's kind of hover over this area right here between these two. Okay? We see that the red line, is it above our blue line or below? It's obviously above, and so we don't want to get into the trade right now. We want to get into the trade when our red line crosses below our blue line, because that's the setup. So right when it crossed below our blue line, as you can see in this area here, it happens right here in this candle, in this hour where this candle was forming. Look how many pips we got. You should have about 10. So let's click right here. You have more than 10. You have way more than 10. Okay? But you can get all these pips here, and that's the strategy. Super simple. If you like to use smaller time frames, that's up to you. Larger time frames, it's up to you. But basically, I'll go over it one more time, just the setup. First thing you want to do is make sure your Ichimoku settings are set like this correctly. Then you want to click on this blue button here because it's going to populate your chart for you to see. Once you populate your chart, you're going to go to your tools here, your trend line tools, and click horizontal line. When you click the horizontal line, this line is going to populate for you. And you can click on your gear, and you want to make sure that the price is the same number that the price was called at here. It's going to populate a line for you where price was called at. Okay? And then after you do that, you're going to want to look at your blue line, because your blue line is like your main line, and the red line is the line that's going to be going up, above, or underneath. Up, above, or underneath. This whole cloud, it doesn't matter. You don't have to worry about the cloud. All you're worrying about or paying attention to is whether this red line is above or below your blue line. If the red line is above your blue line, then you are looking in buy territory, and you should be buying and not selling. All of the trades that are called that are red here are sells. All the trades that are green here are buys. So you don't want to be in buy territory for this specific trade because it's telling you that this is a sell. So after we wait for this red line to cross, and we see that here is a potential, is a good time to get in the trade for a sell, even though this candle is still forming. Let's just even say after the candle formed and you realize that, okay, my red line is underneath my blue line, perfect time to get into the trade. You can click here on your ruler, your pip ruler, and look and see you should have about at least 10 pips. And when you click here, it shows more than 10 pips. It's like 29 pips. But the goal is 10 pips every single time. Even if you decide to put in a trade when it gets to your yellow line here, still 10 pips. Okay. This one had about 19, 20. So you always guarantee 10 pips, especially if you're on the hour chart or even the 15-minute chart, okay? And then the way that you put in that entry, you just look on the side here because these numbers here are your entry. Let's say you notice the line cross here, you want to get in right here, or maybe even this next candle you want to get in, right? You will hover over here and you see that gray, you see this line here, that gray line. Hold on a second. Okay, that gray area right here. I'm sorry, 1 second. This gray area right here. Am I still recording? Okay, sorry. I just had to make sure I was still recording. Okay, the gray area right here lets you know the number that you need to put in your MetaTrader 4 trading app. So I can already calculate 10 pips by saying, okay, this candle's formed here and I want to go for 10 pips. I can just go down 10 pips or however many pips I want to go down. And I could put in my trading app, like, okay, this number right here, that's the number that I want to stop at. Or that's the number that I want to take my profit at. And if it goes the other way for, you know, because these trades aren't God, they're just a strategy. And it goes the opposite way. I can say, okay, well, maybe my lowest high is where I put my stop loss at. And I can put this number here, this gray number here on the side for my lowest high. So that's the strategy. Also, let's do one more example just for the heck of it. Let's do this one. It's a potential buy on the NZDJPY 1 hour chart. So what's the first thing I'm doing? I'm clicking this blue circle at the bottom because it's going to populate the chart for me. I'm going to make sure that my Ichimoku settings are correct. They switch. So what I suggest is that you make it your default. You see this area where it says default? I didn't save it. Oh, Dexter's calling. Hold on a second. Hold on. Pause recording. Not so sure where I left off, but this is now the day after. And I just want to let you know that on the weekends is the best time to trade crypto currency. So if you're interested in like cryptocurrencies, you would just need to click this button right here where the B and the dollar sign thingy is together. Switch to crypto alerts. And you can choose whatever time frame you want to look at. You hear that ching sound? Choose whatever time frame you're interested in looking at, and it'll populate for you. So again, I like to look at the 15-minute chart, but if you like to look at smaller time frames or higher time frames, you have access to do that. All of the trades that are called populate on this side of the screen, and your buy trades are green and your sell trades are going to be red. I want to get in a trade right now so that I can just kind of walk through how to do it and show you. Like actually doing it live. So let's choose this dash USD. So what we would do is click on this. Clicking on this populates your chart. And then again, once you have your chart set up, you want to make sure that your Ichimoku settings are correct. And if you notice that every time you do it, it changes, you're going to have to save it as a default. So I'm clicking here for my Ichimoku settings. Mine changed. This is not what it's supposed to be, so I'm going to change it back to 6, 13, 26, 13. And then my style, I'm going to make this red. And I'm going to thicken it so I can see it. And I'm going to make this blue. I'm going to thicken it so I can see it. Okay. And then I'm going to change this color to my purple. Now, some people keep it red. I like to keep it purple because I don't want to get confused with the colors and the lines. And then I'm going to actually try to save as default. That way, if I open up another trade that's called here, I don't have to keep going through fixing my settings. It's gonna automatically be set. So, okay. All right. So we found our trade. We click this green. We click this blue button here to populate the chart. We made sure our Gimoku settings were correct. Now the next thing that we need to do is we need to look at the called at price number and put it on our screen. So we're gonna go right here at the top left, click our horizontal line, anywhere on the screen, click your settings. And if you wanna change the color or the thickness, you can do that here. Click your gear button and you wanna make sure that these numbers are the same. So I'm gonna change this to 166.36. All right, coolio. So this is where price is called at. And this trade was called an hour ago. So we know that each one of these candles forms, it takes 15 minutes for each candle to form. So an hour ago is 4 candles. So going back over here, I can slide this over so I can see it a little better. You can zoom in or zoom out if you need to see the candles better. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So price was called in this area, right? And we're looking at our red line over our blue line. If anytime the red line crosses above, we're in buy territory. If it crosses below the blue line, we're in sell territory. And so this trade is telling me that I should be selling. So I'm not looking at this. I'm not looking to get into the trade until this line crosses below. Once this line crosses below my blue line, so when the next candle form, I'll see like if it's getting closer to going lower, I will get into the trade by putting in the number here on the side and counting down 10 pips from that and making my stop loss just a little higher so that it doesn't pull me out of the trade if there's a pullback. Okay, so this is not a trade that I would get into right now, only because it's not my red line hasn't crossed underneath my blue line yet. So let's look at another trade. Let's see, maybe we can find one that has. Let's see. This one should be pretty cool. OMG USD. Haha. Oh my God, USD. Okay, so for this one, we're obviously looking for a buy. We know this because this is green. Our settings are fine because we saved them as default. We're on the 15-minute chart. 15-minute chart is highlighted here, so we're good to go. And so we're just gonna get our tool here, our horizontal line. Click it and make sure that the price number here is the same as this price number here. So 2.7762. 2.7762. Okay, so price is called up here, and it's telling us that we should be buying for 10 pips. Let's see, what else do we need to do here? We need to figure out when this trade was called. Okay, so this was called 2 hours and 15 minutes ago, and we know that each candle is 15 minutes. So 1 hour is 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2 hours. And so this candle right here is basically when price was called. Okay. And so after this candle formed, when price was called, right, you can choose to either wait up here or you can get in for the trade. This very next candle that happens has definitely hit 10 pips. Oh, and I forgot, this is cryptocurrency, so the spreads are a lot bigger. So what looks like 10 pips to us is like 920 something or 92 pips. So this is why people love to trade crypto, because it has huge spreads. So it's really just that simple. If you have any questions, there is a Facebook group. She does live webinars. There's the Breakfast Club webinar that happens in the mornings on weekdays. You can just click on those live videos and watch them. You can watch old videos. But she is definitely one of those educators that's available and makes herself available, not just in the IMLCB, but on Facebook. So please take advantage of what you have access to, because it's time to start making money. All right, so I will hopefully talk to you guys relatively soon. Till then, have a wonderful day.